Hello and happy Easter from Walt Disney World. I'm going to Magic Kingdom to watch the Easter pre-parade. And then I want to come to Epcot to do a little Easter egg hunt. And also maybe go to some resort hotels to maybe see the Easter eggs there. I don't know yet, but I have not gotten to see the Easter pre-parade at Magic Kingdom in years, so that's what I'm doing today. Today's Easter again, so it's probably going to be pretty busy at Magic Kingdom. All right, made it through security, and I'm heading over towards the monorail. So the pre-parade steps off about 15 minutes before Festival of Fantasy. So I have about 15 minutes to make it over to Magic Kingdom. It worked out pretty well with timing. I'm getting out of the monorail now. Passing through the Contemporary right now. They should have some Easter eggs on display here somewhere. And then obviously over at the Grand Floridian. So I might go to the resorts, see the Easter eggs after going to Magic Kingdom and then go over to Epcot. I'm about to go to the station right now, so I still have plenty of time before the parade makes it to Main Street USA. So I had lunch before I got here, so I'm not particularly hungry, but they might have like Easter snacks or something. I actually got here really quickly, so still about 10 minutes until the parade steps off over in Frontierland, and then it'll make it to Main Street. Heading over to these turnstiles, they're a little bit less occupied. Look at that beautiful floral Mickey here in front of the train station. So it'd be fun to go up to the train station and watch the parade, but that's been sort of difficult in recent years. Well, that's pretty much not going to happen at all. This other section looks available, but it's probably reserved for VIP, which it is. So I'm heading back downstairs. The parade still won't be here for a little bit, so I have time to find a good spot. So I found my spot for the parade, and it's going to be pretty much right across from the train station and Town Square Theater. Easter parade's finally making its way down the street towards me. That took a little while, but it's almost here. Easter pre-parade. So Festival of Fantasy is about to start now because that was the pre-parade for Festival of Fantasy. This is where I stood right over here at the corner. It seems like pretty much everybody left after the pre-parade, which there it is right there. That's Festival of Fantasy heading down the street. Hello, by the way. So I did not see any snacks here at Magic Kingdom, so I think I will go to the Grand Floridian Resort, and then over to Contemporary, and then take the monorail over to Epcot. The hippo ran up to somebody and just threw flower petals in their face, which I loved that. This is guest services, and in years past, this is where you would meet Mr. and Mrs. Easter Bunny, but they're probably over in the gazebo now, I think, down the street. So I'm heading out of Magic Kingdom now and over to the Grand Floridian, and then I'll take the express monorail. Well, I'll take the resort monorail, I guess, over to the TTC, and then the Epcot monorail from there. I'll take this on the way back, though, from the Grand Floridian. Right now, I'm going to walk. No, I'm not going to walk. I'm going to take the boat. I could very easily walk, but the boat's here right now, and I'm pretty sure that the first stop is going to be the Grand Floridian and then the Polynesian. This is a very pleasant walkway, but it's actually pretty hot today. Unless I actually don't get a spot on the boat, that is possible. This is pretty cool. I'm standing at the front of the boat. I've never done this before. I thought I wasn't going to make it, but there's a lot of standing room on this boat. This is a very quick, just, I don't know, 2 to 3 minute boat ride. All right, I just got off of the boat at the Grand Floridian, and I'm going to go get a snack, I think, from Gasparilla Island Grill. It's been a little bit since I've taken a boat here during the daytime. This is a really pleasant little place to just relax back here. So I think the Gasparilla Island Grill does have a little treat just right around the corner. This is an A-frame over by the pool, so they do have some Easter activities today. But I'm going this way over to Gasparilla Island Grill. This is where walking would have been convenient because I would have popped out pretty much right over there. There is fishing in Bay Lake, which one day I will do this. I'm pretty sure that it's some sort of like a cake, maybe. I do plan to get something to eat, but I'll probably do that at Epcot a little bit later. So this is what I was going to get. This is the Bunny Burrow Dirt Cup, which is layers of chocolate cake, chocolate buttercream, and sandwich cookie pieces with springtime decor. But I don't think that I'm going to get this because I want to get the dessert over at the Contemporary and still get dinner over at Epcot. But what I am going to do is go to the lobby to look at the eggs, and then I can take the monorail over to the Contemporary. There are also Easter egg displays at the Yacht and the Beach Club. They also have Easter snacks there, and then I think the Boardwalk, and then also Riviera and like Disney Springs, but I think I'm just going to keep it to the Grand Floridian and Contemporary. See, why did I bother going to Gasparilla Island? They're doing construction here in the lobby, and I could have just come here to the Grand Cottage where they're selling all these Easter snacks. These all look absolutely delicious. See, I could have gotten that over there. This is kind of insane. This is the line to look at the eggs. I have never seen the eggs be this popular before. This is interesting construction because they're actually building a bar here in the lobby to sort of replace the birdcage. This is a very interesting egg display inspired by Inside Out. That's Anxiety. This is a country bear. No, it's not. This is a brother bear egg. This is Dumbo. There's Timothy Mouse and Dumbo. Here's the Evil Queen. This one is incredible. Look at that. That's awesome. This is Atlantis. This one has been showcased before, I'm pretty sure, with all of the Disney characters. This is Cinderella, which is cool. All the bubbles have characters and scenes on them. This is Scrooge McDuck, diving into a pile of gems and coins. This egg is Zootopia. There's Judy Hopps. Steamboat Willie. This one's cool. Absolutely one of the coolest by far. This is a Festival of Fantasy egg, the Maleficent Dragon. There's Orange Bird. This is Tarzan. Are you kidding me? How cool is this? This one is incredible. There's Al's Toy Barn from Toy Story. Oh, that's super cool. That's a little fun detail. And then a Snow White egg, sort of like a concept egg, it looks like. So there's another egg here with a ton of Disney characters. Is this Egg Expedition Everest? It totally is. That is so cool. You even have the disco lights in there. This is Madame Leota. Here, that's a little bit spooky, but cool. And then a Beauty and the Beast egg. That's cool. This is neat. It's like 3-dimensional. And then finally, on this side, Cruella de Vil, 101 Dalmatians. All right, now I'm gonna go around the other side of these. This is the inside of the Beauty and the Beast egg. And then this is Expedition Everest. And then again, this egg again, which is pretty much this one. It's very similar. The Cinderella egg, the Toy Story eggs, the Tarzan egg, the Orange Bird, and Maleficent eggs, which is Breathing Fire. And that one I don't think is as much of a Snow White egg as it is like an actual like animation concept egg. And then Steamboat Willie, Zootopia, Scrooge McDuck, and Cinderella. And then over here at the back of that egg, the Atlantis egg, the Evil Queen Snow White egg, the Dumbo egg, and then the Brother Bear egg. All right, that was a little bit busier than I anticipated it being. I'm going to go to the second level now and see the bird cage from up here, then take the monorail over to the Contemporary. I'm getting pretty hungry, so I'm gonna get my treat over at Epcot, or over at the Contemporary, then go over to Epcot to get like an actual dinner. The pianist just started playing down there. It seems like they just put up these walls, so this is my last look at this birdcage before this area turns into a bar. I'm forever going to miss the Grand Floridian Society Orchestra. They used to perform in the lobby here, but I don't think that that's coming back. But I'm taking the monorail now over to the Contemporary. First to the Magic Kingdom and then to the Contemporary. The monorail just pulled up, but there's a pretty significant line waiting for it. There's the walkway that I could have taken to get over to Magic Kingdom, and then the boat launch behind the trees. All right, made it to the Contemporary. I think I'm heading down to the lobby to see the eggs really quickly, and then I'll come back up to go to Contempo Cafe to get a little treats, and then I'll continue on this monorail over the TTC and then go to Epcot, where I still will be doing a Easter egg hunt and getting some dinner. The eggs have been sort of scattered all around from time to time, but they should be downstairs in the lobby. And of course, here they are, just right next to Steakhouse 71. So there's a Dole Whip egg, a Hercules egg, a Kakamora Moana egg, what is this, a Cocoa egg? This is cool, just a Toy Story egg or a bunch of Toy Story eggs stacked on top of one another. And then this entire display are Muppet eggs. So there's Beaker and Dr. Bunsen Honeydew, Animal, Swedish Chef, Fozzie Bear, Sam Eagle, and then Kermit and Miss Piggy. How to Cure an Existential Crisis. Another Moana egg, a Princess and the Frog egg, another Hercules egg, and then a Tangled egg. You can actually smell the chocolate from those eggs, so I'm gonna go ahead and head over the elevator to take that up to the 4th level to go to the Contempo Cafe. There's information here about Easter services today, this morning. All right, I'm upstairs, time to finally get a snack. Is it over here? Maybe not. So they did not have it, so I'm checking over here really quickly. So they don't have it here. This is what I was looking for, this carrot cupcake with cream cheese, buttercream, chocolate, cookie crumbs, and spring sprinkles, which is okay. I'm more hungry, like I want more of like a sustainable dinner than I really need a dessert, so I'm heading over to the monorail. But it's okay because there are other Disney bloggers that review cupcakes. So now, back to the TTC to finally go to Epcot and look for some eggs and get something to eat, which I'm trying to think about something to do with the Easter egg scavenger hunt that I'm going to be doing. That might be fun. Just waiting on the next monorail now, so I'm going to have like a little, I guess, miniature challenge with this scavenger hunt. So I made it to the TTC, and right now there is a monorail over like at the station, so I don't think that I'm going to be able to take that one to Epcot. I'll have to wait for the next one. At least I don't think so. There's a monorail on all 3 stations currently. And there it goes, leaving without me. If I was on the express monorail, I would have been able to walk just straight across, but resort monorail, I have to go all the way down and around and then back up the ramp. I haven't gotten the dessert today, but I have been carrying around this energy drink, so I'll probably drink this while I wait for the next monorail, which should be just a few minutes away. So my idea, by the way I'm wearing my Peep shirt, is that for the scavenger hunt, for the Easter egg scavenger hunt, if I can predict where the majority of the Easter eggs are, I don't know how many there are yet, but if I could predict where the majority of the Easter eggs are, then I'll reward myself with a quick service that I like. And then if I don't predict accurately where all of the Easter eggs end up being, then I will punish myself with a quick service that I don't like. So I'll figure that out, but here's the monorail. It's going to take me over to Epcot. I've almost made it to Epcot, but it's taken about 5 minutes or so. I'm not going to be really partaking in much of the festival today. Today is really going to be, today's going to be about the egg extravaganza scavenger hunt, which I'll be picking up right here. It's really cool. You can see the current construction progress on Test Track, which is opening up, I think, later on this summer. I made a lap around Epcot. That's pretty quick. I wonder if it's ever happened, which it has to have happened, where someone didn't get off of the monorail before the door was closed and they accidentally took another entire trip around the monorail loop. Like I was switching out my camera lenses when the doors opened, and what if they'd closed by the time that I was done? I wouldn't have been able to tell anybody about it, and then I would have had to take a very awkward trip back to the TTC and back to Epcot again. So between this loop and then the Magic Kingdom monorail loop, I'm pretty sure that has to have happened at some point. But I've made it to Epcot, and I'm hungry, but I'm going to do this egg scavenger hunt first. I don't know if this reward or punishment situation is going to happen, but I thought it'd be fun, just because of the chances of these eggs being in repeat locations is very likely. All right, I'm inside the park, heading over to Gateway Gifts to pick up the map to do the extravaganza scavenger hunt. I'm not starving right now. Brennan and I did have a Easter brunch earlier today, but I am getting hungry. Easter is the perfect day to do the extravaganza scavenger hunt. Once I get the map, I'm going to start decide if this is a viable challenge to do. It's not really even about the redemption to get a prize, it's just to do the scavenger hunt, which is fun. So I decided to go ahead and get the prize just immediately because this is, wow, there are a lot of eggs, actually. This is more about, again, the scavenger hunt and just having fun with it than it is the prize. It is very windy right now. I'm running a spaceship bird, so I apologize for that, but these are the eggs that I could have gotten. I almost fell over. Wow, it is windy. So I could have gotten Mickey, Minnie, White Rabbit, Thumper, Dale, or Chip, and I decided to get Thumper as my prize that I can paint. So this is the Extravaganza scavenger hunts. These are all the different bunnies around the World Showcase, and yeah, just the World Showcase, so not World Celebration, that I can find. And what I'm going to try to do is just guess where each of these rabbits are going to be. So I stopped into guest relations and they let me have a pin. All right, I'm gonna go to a table over here to do this. I love just the foliage and the trees here. I wish that Celestial Park in Epic Universe had this. I love Celestial Park, it is beautiful with the fountains, but I need more trees. So these are my guesses for where I'm going to find these characters as eggs around the World Showcase. A lot of these felt like they would be in the United Kingdom or the American Adventure, so I don't know. My goal is that I need to get 6 out of the 12 of these eggs right to reward myself with dinner. So I'm going over to the Odyssey first. I need to decide what my reward and punishment is going to be. So I figured it out. If I get at least 6 of these correct, then I will reward myself with dinner at Katsura Grill over in the Japan Pavilion. And if I do not get 6 or more of these correct, then I will punish, quote unquote, punish myself by going to La Crêperie de Paris over in the France Pavilion because I don't really like crepes. So I'm heading over to the Odyssey first, and either way, I'll enjoy whatever I end up getting. I'm not really that picky of an eater. I don't know, crepes and me don't have a good relationship. It's always worth it to try new things, right? So I'm heading over here. This is the Odyssey, and I don't know if I'm gonna read off every single one of, I probably will, right? Because that's the point of this. So here I said I would find Oswald, and they don't have any premeditated information or knowledge about where these are. I have not been paying attention to these this year. All right, Oswald, am I going to find you in here? Crap, I already see that it's a rabbit. See, so this pretty much already means that I am completely screwed with this challenge today. So rabbits is the egg for the Odyssey. Okay, and just like that, I'm heading to my first country. So getting one wrong here means that I'm going to get one wrong somewhere else. So this is going to be very difficult. Next is Mexico, where I said the egg would be Ducky and Bunny. The egg scavenger hunts. The eggs for this scavenger hunt are generally outside and more in the country, so nothing to do with the festival food booths. At least I think so. I think I convinced myself of these festival rules often and inaccurately. I'm looking in places where I would normally find the egg and I don't see it, and there it is. So it's a Bean Bunny, which I was so confident this was going to be not here. Why would this be here in Mexico when there's a Muppets restaurant in the American Adventure? I think I'm done. I think I'm not going to succeed in this at all. I should have set the bar significantly lower, like a third of the eggs if I figured out where they were. So next is Norway, where I said a Thumper would be. Norway's been a difficult place before to try to find the egg. I'm trying to do a thorough walkthrough of this area. And guess what? I am back in the game because there's Thumper. I guessed right. So this is just going to be luck and nothing else. At least I think. Okay. Can I make a recovery? Next is China, where I said Alec Azam would be the egg. I thought about my reward restaurant quick service being either here at the Lotus Blossom Cafe in China or over at the Summerfest quick service in Germany or at the Regal Eagle Smokehouse over in the American Adventure, but I just really love the Japanese cuisine. So where's the egg? Well, this is cute. There's an actual bunny, like a real bunny here, but I don't see an egg quite yet. Generally, it's not too tucked away, I don't think, into the pavilions, but it might be here. I wouldn't think that it would be all the way back here, but it might be. I still do not think that they would put it inside. I'm pretty positive about that. Putting it like at an upper level would be pretty mean. Could it be like inside one of the outdoor gift shops? I think I'm looking too intensely for this one. I don't think that it would be back here. Yeah, so we need to go back to the front of the pavilion. It's supposed to be easier than this. I'll go over here to the other side of the water. You'd think I'd see it. It's a massive egg. Well, I didn't see it, so I'm going around this way. And I finally found the egg in the last place that I walked past. So this is Miss Bunny. So that is yet another one that I got wrong. There's Miss Bunny for China. So now I'm going to Germany, where I said Rabbit would be there, who is not there because Rabbit was over in the Odyssey building. See, but I still have a chance at this if I correctly inverted my guesses for countries. So I need this to be a country that I've already guessed, or an egg that I've already guessed for another country. I try to guess a lot of these based on the relevance of the character with the country, and then also just based on the color of the character. Even if I lose though, I'm okay because I am hungry. So this one, they do like to put it up onto a secondary level, I think, where they have before, or so I thought. But there's Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. So this works out perfectly because I legitimately did flip Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. I thought Oswald would be in the Odyssey building, which is where Rabbit ended up being, and I thought Rabbit would be here, which is where Oswald is. So that is a good sign. All right, Oswald, you're going right here on Germany. So can this continue for the American Adventure? I said that Italy would be Skippy, so there's still a chance for that. It would have been awesome to get pizza back here, but I doubt that that window would have been open. This scrim is absolutely hilarious. So I am remembering where eggs have been when I get to a particular country, but I don't see it, which is good. They're moving them around. Oh my God, the pizza window is open. I totally could have gotten pizza back here. I don't think it'll be open for very long though. Where's the egg? How cool would it be to put it over here at some point? So I don't see it back over here, which means it's probably on the exterior of the pavilion. So there's the egg just across from the pavilion, and it's Ducky and Bunny, which I have already guessed, but I did get it wrong. See, there it is. I totally made this too difficult for myself. I did not think that I would make it this difficult, but I absolutely did. So Ducky and Bunny are going here in Italy. Now we're to the American Adventure, where I guessed Bean Bunny, which was wrong. Again, I'm trying to scout the locations that I know that I've seen the egg before, which were difficult. I clearly need to start checking the exterior of the pavilion though before heading all the way to the back, but I'm gonna go back here. I'm still trying to beat the sunset. I don't have a lot of time. I'm gonna check over here and over here. No egg. Back over here. And there it is. It is Skippy. So I thought that Skippy would be in Italy, so I was somewhat close, but Skippy is going here in the American Adventure Pavilion. And now over to Japan, where I thought Judy Hopps would be. I feel pretty confident about this one, and I don't see the egg yet, which is a good sign. So I walked around the front of Japan, haven't seen it yet, so I'm gonna go to the back of the pavilion. Try to avoid following other people with the same map. So I'm heading up the stairs to see maybe if it's back here. Where are you, little egg? I don't see it back here. So I'm gonna go back this way. I was so convinced it would be back over here somewhere. Oh no, why is this hard? I walked past it and had to double back. It is Judy Hopps. Yes, this is right next to the tower. Judy Hopps is going right on Japan. So I'm pretty sure that I've lost. This is where I wanted to have dinner, but based on what's left and what I've already guessed, I don't think that I can do this. I'm walking to Norway, where I said March Hare would be. This one is a possibility, so I'm holding out hope. And just like that, my hopes have disintegrated, because that is Jackalope, just right here at the entrance of Morocco. I was so excited too. I thought it was March Hare for just a second, but it's not. At least eating in France, I won't have to walk as far in the opposite direction after I finish this. Kind of bummed it wasn't like all the way in the back of the pavilion. So next is France, where I thought Miss Bunny would be, but Miss Bunny ended up being in China. I'm presuming that this is just going to be somewhere over here in the grass. This wouldn't be like in the back of the pavilion. I think it's over here, or at least I thought so. Maybe it's over here. And it is. This is March Hare. So I thought March Hare would be in Morocco. I keep missing them by like a country. So it looks like I'll be coming back here later. So March Hare, oh no, it's going right here in France. Next is the UK, which I did feel good about this one too. I said that the White Rabbit would be in the UK. The sun is almost set. I'm almost done. I am very hungry. I'm presuming the egg's going to be all the way back here by the band. I don't see it over here, which is good. Sorry if it's windy. So I'm heading back around the back. So I didn't need to go all the way back there, because here it is, the White Rabbit. I got it right. This is difficult to do, but White Rabbit is going right here in the UK. Okay. I'm happy that I got that right. But that's the last one that I'm going to get right, because next, in my final country, is Canada, where I said Jackalope would be. Jackalope was in Morocco. It's going to be Alakazam. That's going to be in Canada. I thought Alakazam was going to be in China. The UK really is huge. There's so much space to use for these sort of scavenger hunts. Okie dokie, Canada. I'm going to go up the stairs here, but it's probably down there somewhere. It's been a minute since I've been able to go back up here. I'm pretty sure that I just saw it. Yep, right there. I don't think that really changed that much. I think it's been here before plenty of times. I'm gonna go this way anyway to go down by the water. And this is a little bit sad. The waterfall is not running right now. This is weird. The egg has been in different locations before. I think it's most commonly been over here, but they've moved it around, and I appreciate that they're doing that. They're moving the scavenger hunt locations around, even if they're somewhat similar. It's cool that the water is running over here. So I have looked at the menu, and I do know what I'm going to be getting from the creperie. So there's Alakazam going right here in Canada. And I've completed my egg extravaganza this year. I only guessed 3 out of the 12 of these correctly. So I'm going back to France and getting the ratatouille crepe because it sounds pretty good and maybe it will be delicious. The crowds are getting a little bit thicker as the night progresses and the sun sets. I should have gotten a drink or something. Maybe I will in France, I don't know. My Easter adventure is almost concluded for the day. I just hope there isn't much of a line. Even if there is, whatever, I am hungry. So I haven't loved Universal crepes specifically just because of how they serve them, so I might actually really like this. Like, it depends if it's handheld or served on a plate, and I can use like a fork and knife for it, but this is where I'm going, the quick service window outside of La Crêperie de Paris. So I know what I'm going to be getting. I'm going to get this ratatouille crepe, and then I'm going to get a red berries crepe, and then I might get a drink. So that's where I ordered my crepes, and here they are. This is the ratatouille crepe, which is tomatoes, eggplant, and zucchini, and then this is the red berries crepe, and then I also ended up getting a sweet cider. This is very hot on my thighs, so I sat over here on the steps, pretty much just people watching, and the sun is almost set. So the crepes were delicious. They're still not my favorite. They're very inconvenient, and then the texture is like eating wet cardboard. I didn't know if I was eating the crepe or the paper plate. Not really, obviously, but that was definitely more of a punishment than some other snack could have been. This would have been so convenient if I needed to take the Skyliner, but I'm heading back to the front of the park to take the monorail, back to the TTC. This actually would have been incredibly convenient if I wanted to go to the Yacht and the Beach Club, but I think I've had enough of an Easter adventure. Epcot at night really is a very comfortable experience, even if it is a lot busier at night. I'm a big fan of the weather right now. It is really windy and comfortable. Will I make the next monorail? Probably not. I wanted to get back to Magic Kingdom at the time, but it was dark. It's not going to happen, but I did a significant amount more for Easter today than I thought that I was going to, and this is going to be so relevant by the time that I upload this. I know that it's sort of unfair to compare this area with Epic Universe. I don't know, I do like this. I like what they did with this. I do miss the fountain. That's what Epic Universe absolutely has going for it, is the water. And then there are very random aspects of this that I don't necessarily love. If this just had water, there's still a potential to maybe beat the monorail. I might be good. I don't see a monorail yet. And there it is, so I have plenty of time. I think that worked out pretty well. Whew, almost there. And there's the monorail. Didn't even wait, I don't know, 2 minutes. All right, I'm heading back to the TTC, should be there in just a few more minutes. And I made it back to the TTC. The fireworks should be starting in about half an hour over at Magic Kingdom. All right, I'm walking back to the car. So that was my Magic Kingdom and Epcot Easter adventure. I saw the Easter pre-parade at Magic Kingdom and then went to the Grand Floridian first and then the Contemporary just to see the eggs there, to try to get a treat, which I did not end up doing. Just wanted to see what Easter was like this year on the monorail loop, then going over to Epcot to do the Extravaganza Easter egg hunt to get this that I might just paint in the backyard with Arlo or something, and ending the night with dinner in France. So thanks for watching. See you soon. Have a great day. Happy Easter and goodbye.